Welcome to Market Like a Hotshot. Big pause here. Episode 59.
I know it is. We're cranking. What?
59.
One more away from 60. I know. I said last month or last time we did this, we're only 2 away. It's amazing that we're already up to almost 60 episodes.
That's right.
It's insane.
So even worse, we're 6 episodes away from Medicare. How about that?
I love it.
Medicare. So hey, I'll tell you, great weekends. The summer's like cranking this year. We got more live broadcasts. We got a live broadcast coming up soon. We'll talk about that a little bit later.
Yeah.
But today we're going to talk a little bit about a word or a topic that scares some people, psychs some people up, and then there's the people right in the middle, right? It's called Agentic AI, like a hotshot. They're like, are you using all these tech words on us, Jeff, you know?
Yeah. It's kind of funny. The first, I think, did we do like episode 2 and 4, or like some in the first 10 that we did about AI. So we haven't actually done an episode on AI in a while, like over a year.
It's been a little bit.
It's been actually over a year. Isn't that insane?
And things have changed, AI, everyone thought AI it's in their toolbox.
Mm-hmm.
But we're going to take that a step further today with Agentic AI. It's your new friend. It's your teammate. Do you have a name for it? I call mine Sheila. What do you call yours? Not Claude, but Sheila. Right? It's a teammate. We're breaking down. What we're going to do today is break down how Agentic AI and how marketers can use it to work faster, smarter, and like a hotshot. And it would be officially part of Hotshot Nation. Mr. Vito.
I know, that'd be funny. It's like our AI tools, Claude and Copilot, are all part of Hotshot Nation.
Yeah, now we have Sheila and a Bertha. Yours is called Bertha, right?
I've got to come up with a good name for mine.
Yeah. But, it's not a chatbot. People think of chatbots. Now, what is a chatbot? What is generative AI, right?
Yeah, I think a lot of times most people's experience with AI is generative AI. So, prompting and all of that stuff.
Engineering. Yep.
Yeah. So, getting it to write a report for you, or take this data and come up with something, or give me advice on this. Like, that's your typical generative AI. And then even for images, videos, music, there's a lot of purposes out there for it.
There is. So Agentic, think of it, you're taking the next step further. Again, you're having it's almost like your co-pilot, but your co-worker here, almost like you have a real co-worker that's helping you build stuff like workflows, right? And also, workflows is a big one, and then any types of process management and automation. And think about automation. That's where Agentic AI kind of takes it to the next level, right? So why does it matter in 2026? And this is probably going to change in 2027.
I know, by the time we get there.
By the time this video comes, by the time we post this, it's going to change, right?
Well, I think back, you and I were at a session earlier in the year about Agentic AI and how different people are applying it. And it's cool. It's one of those things where once you get to learn how to use it, and once you find the right workflows to automate, it does become pretty useful.
It does.
I think the caution that we like to give people is don't use it for the right, like sometimes people use it for complete inbox management, and while it can do replies and things like that for you, it's people can tell that it's not human, it's not genuine, so you might be shooting yourself in the foot by taking that approach.
Yeah, we talked about that, being human like a hotshot. I think we had an episode.
Yeah,
you still want the human in the loop, but you still have this great time. So AI takes actions, but it's not just answers. So what can Agentic AI do? We'll summarize that first, and then we'll go into workflow and automation management later on.
Yeah, I think one of the key things that it can do is it can handle multi-step workflows. So rather than just like answering a question,
if then else.
Yeah,
I remember my programming days. If then else, right?
And it's funny. You and I had a conversation where we're going to be on another podcast, and I was thinking about. Yeah, I was thinking about this as we had that conversation this morning about just kind of like my experiences with AI.
Yeah.
The first one, Dr. Spatzo in the 90s when I was still a kid.
Yeah.
I had a sound blaster. You remember the sound blaster sound card?
Oh, wow.
And it came with a text-to-speech tool where you could ask it a question.
Yeah.
And it would kind of answer it back. And that, when you mentioned if then else, that's really what it was, a bunch of if then else logic.
Yep.
Because back then we didn't have that type of technology. I mean, like once my friends and I figured out like some of the uses for it, we were trying to see if it would swear. Like because you would have it'd say repeat this file, repeat this
I got
line.
Floyd to swear once. It was pretty funny.
You did? Copilot did that on me once.
Yeah, be careful of that.
Yeah, it's kind of funny. Yeah, it's anyway, but then my next experience with it, I interned at Dragon Systems in the mid 90s, and their product, Naturally Speaking, it was using what they call neural nets. And neural nets, based on, again, prior to that, speech recognition was a whole bunch of if-then. And neural nets was like the next stage in that. And then AI took neural nets to the next level. So watching it mature over the last, almost 30 years now, holy cow. It's definitely been pretty interesting. So, now it's smart enough that it can make decisions. You give it, you input it, it does remember, it's getting better at remembering, your history, especially if you work with one tool. I know you like to work with Claude, but if it's handling multiple things for you, and I know with the tools I use, it'll say, well, based on, like, it'll be funny, I'll be in one conversation, it'll be like, based on you wanting to bring JVF in this direction and you're working on that, this is what I would recommend. And it
actually remembers the conversation I had with you last week. And that's the key thing with Agentic is you're having almost a relationship building with Bertha and Sheila.
I mean,
it's agents.
I always joke, and I think I said it this morning too, is that your AI agents, they should be like a pretty stacked intern versus using them as like your business partner. Which is where I think a lot of people fail. But like some of the other things it can do is you can use it to generate content, but you can use it like generative AI, but like on steroids, where you're having it generate a lot of different content, like maybe an ebook and instead of just a social media prompt.
Sorry. So we already talked about a little bit what Agentic AI is not. It's not a chatbot. It's not a magic button. What else is it not?
It's definitely not a replacement for strategy.
No, not a doubt. And it's not a replacement for human creativity. So all the people out there that are afraid about jobs, and we always hear this all the time, there's so many creators out there,
right?
Especially in the marketing world. People still need your creativity, and not Bertha or Sheila, who's, by the way, our Agentic AI people. If you haven't heard us earlier in this, so let's it's the intern that never sleeps, never complains, never forgets a step. And when I say that, that's not an employee, right?
Right.
It's not an employee. So
and. I'll just share a quick story. We were at an AI event a couple months ago, and I remember someone came up to me, and I'm like, "So, what do you do?" And they're like, "Oh, I have this app that I'm building." And I'm like, "Really cool. Tell me, what language did you code it in? How did you build it?" And the guy's like, "I don't know. I built it with AI." And I'm like, "AI is not a programming language.
It's not. No.
And that is where I get a little concerned, because I'm like, all right, so your entire business is built upon this app, and you don't even know what's under the hood. It's like, granted, there's mechanics for your cars. You don't need to know exactly how your car operates, but not for anything. But like if you're managing, if your business is based on a food truck, you'll want to know at least some details about how to fix it. Yeah, like
how to fix it.
Yeah, like if you're a restaurant, you want to know what you're making. It's like, other people, they can maybe get away with it if it's just doing different processes for it. But if it's building an app for you and you need to make changes to that, I just it
blows your mind.
Blows my mind, because I would never do that as a developer.
Human in the loop again, because you have to understand what's going on, right? Yeah. So let's go into some workflows. Content research and summarization's one that comes to mind as a marketer. What can Agentic AI do?
Agentic AI is really good at pulling articles and doing research. They can summarize trends and even pull some insights from those trends that
a lot of stats, right? Stats. And you can organize your findings. So let's say you pull some articles, and it kind of probably could take all those articles and kind of summarize stuff for you. And then, of course, when you're ready to, post the content, it actually preps those briefs for you. So it really helps you with the content research and summarization. I like it because it's low risk with it, right? It's easy to validate and saves a lot of time because, as a content person, think about before this was around. How long do you think it took somebody to just post on investments before?
Yeah, I mean, a year or two ago, I was spending a good hour or so sometimes researching something to put in a post, especially if you're creating an infographic. I always like to check the sources too, because you see a lot of stats out there and people will rehash them. And that's something you have to be careful with AI too.
Yeah.
Especially Agentic. I mean, I've had it go in and create articles for me. And as you can imagine, things are like not right. I mean,
not. Yeah, it's blue. It's not red.
But like you said, it's easy to validate. So, pointing it at a couple data sources, having it create something for you, and then giving it a quick proofread. You might need to make a few edits, but that 2, 3, 4 hour article is probably taking you 15, 20 minutes now.
It is. And that's what I'm going to be guilty of this now. Whenever I do any type of blogs now, letters, I usually do use my buddy Bertha, or what did I call her? Sheila. Everyone's going to remember this episode. Bertha and Sheila is the new Agentic AI buddies of James and Jeff, right? It's good that we use our wife's names for that one. They would probably get pretty pissed off at us for that one.
Yeah.
So how about, and then we're on the marketing world here, social media prep and scheduling support. This is the great thing because I love scheduling stuff when you're asleep, right? Don't you? You can generate posts have a little more variety in your posts.
Yeah. You have a topic or two, have it generate a bunch of different variations on a post. And again, it's like, this is where you got to be careful because Agentic AI, where it differentiates itself from generative, is that it can actually go out there and do the post.
And do it. Yeah, you can set a couple steps up to be able to go out to an Instagram or a Facebook or a LinkedIn to put the post out there.
Yeah.
Like I'm using Claude now in my recruiting world to send emails. I actually stopped it because some of the emails went a little haywire. That's where you have to.
That's where you got to be careful.
Yeah, be really careful because somebody's like, this dude, a robot just sent this to me. I'm not going to respond to you. You got to be careful of that.
But actually really good use case for Agentic AI is going through your social media feeds, analyzing which posts get the best, especially if you've been posting for a few years, posts that got good engagement or posts that should have gotten better engagement, and using Agentic AI to identify those posts and reposting them, and analyzing when your viewers are interacting with your post more often. So that's a big challenge
that's good stats for you. You want to know if your content's working. That's where Agentic could help you there. I love repurposing content too. I got to do that more. Everyone says, Jeff, you post so much great stuff, but posting it once, that doesn't do much for you. You got to repost it and repurpose your content, and you can set up a workflow to be able to do that for you.
Right. So even taking, like, for example, this podcast, it can go through there and with some intelligence determine what the key points are, and then slicing those things and dicing them into smaller posts that we can put on social media.
Look for those coming soon.
Yeah, we're going to be adding those.
Adding those in there. Bertha and Sheila will be helping us out. And then we talk about posting calendars, and scheduling is big. And then creating captions. We got to do that more too. So we're actually learning as we're doing this today.
Well, right? It's kind of funny because Spotify, and YouTube both go in and already generate the captions for you, which is kind of cool. But when you're doing other types of posts, like on our podcast, we already have that automatically generated. But when you're doing social media, a lot of times I'll watch videos, but I'll have the volume down because I might be in a public place or waiting at the doctor's office.
You don't want to be blasting your tunes at Starbucks.
Yeah. Well.
Not really.
Yeah, I don't want to be like those people.
Those people. So then going back to workflows for Agentic AI, social media prep and scheduling is great because AI at the end of the day handles your grunt work for you.
Yeah, but you stay in control. But that's the real key about that.
That's very good. How about this one? A topic people don't. Email drafting. Oh, I got to write an email. I got to do an email later for my president of AMA later, my email newsletter, right? Follow-up sequences. So where can Agentic AI help you there? And this is, again, it's the workflow. Yeah. You're not prompting them a question or anything like that. This is actually building your workflow around email marketing. What's some good features, I guess, or that Agentic AI gives you?
Right, because automated responses, autoresponders, that was the first.
That's the big one.
That's the first thing that all of us are familiar with. I mean, you have a vacation message, you set up an account, and then, that people sign up for something, and then they find out after the fact that, you'll be responding, all this other good stuff. Where Agentic takes it to the next level is
Agentic.
Yeah, it makes it agentic, is that it can be smart with the responses there. So, you have a generic form on your website that people can submit the form, and maybe they want to learn more about our events, maybe they want to learn more about our services, maybe they want to buy merch, and it can go through there, scan that, and just say, automatically reply back, you're interested in merch, here's a link to our store. You're interested in being a guest on the show, here's a link to our, it's like it's such a cool workflow that it's a lot of, it can do a lot of the work for you. Again, you always say while you're sleeping, you want your website, your business to run while you're sleeping. And,
while you're on the beach, man.
Yeah.
Right?
And that's handling everything for you. You can even have it, like you said, book appointments. It can do all of that stuff for you.
And also, I think you touched on this already with email responses, rewrite for tone. They actually can read the tone of the response to your email, and respond appropriately. Have you tested that one out at all?
No. I'm excited about that one because I know I've been on the side of things where I haven't been pretty happy with a product, and I try and be professional in the emails because people will share them with the world if you're not.
Well, that plus you never know. You don't want to burn those bridges. Don't burn a bridge like a knot shot, right? Like a knot shot.
But I mean, having AI like noticing that your client or the person sending an email is upset, right? And then they give it a little bit of a different tone than someone that's like, they can detect that they're excited. They're like, I'm thrilled to submit my resume for, like, you're in the recruiting world. I'm thrilled to submit my resume to be a guest on Market Like a Hotshot, versus I keep trying to order something. They ship me the wrong size. It's like, what are you guys doing?
We never had that problem with our merchants, right?
No, not with our distributor. We don't, thankfully.
Yeah. So how about customer insights and segmentation? That's another great workflow. Good for the marketing agencies out there. Yeah. Doing surveys. We like to do surveys every once in a while with my Mass Professional Networking. People love those on-site events. Nobody wants virtual, which I always do that. And how about clustering customer types and identifying patterns? I just nailed them all. But
the patterns are really important. You know that? It's like trying to find those patterns. Like it can point out a need that you're not servicing, or a need that you're servicing really well. It can also summarize all the feedback and give you an executive summary of it. So, let's say you do a survey. I mean, your events, you probably have a couple thousand people over the course of a year. It collects all of that stuff, what they like. It can tell you, oh, well, the events in Providence had 95% of the people were thrilled with their experience there. The ones in Metro West, 85% were. The ones in Boston, 90% were. And
that's about right.
Yeah, and it gives you that feedback, or it tells you that, in Boston, people were upset with this location because the parking cost too much, or
I don't think there's one place in Boston that has affordable parking, so can't do much about that.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
So better, it helps, your AI agentic agent, AKA Sheila and Bertha. Remember, this is where it's like your assistant, right? That's where Agentic kind of takes it to the next level here. Helps you with the better targeting and better messaging, because your message is targeting the right qualified lead. Well, it's so technical with the marketing terms today. So that's a big one with the workflow. Saving you time. building, automating your process and your workflow there. It's big.
Definitely saves you a lot of time if you use it correctly.
You have to use it correctly.
And that's the thing, though. It's like we always have to preface it with that, because a lot of times people will come, they'll reach out to us. I know we've talked about this several times.
Yeah.
I don't know if we've talked about it on the show.
On the Hotshot Nation here?
Yeah, but, it's so funny. People are like, well, I tried this and it just didn't work out. And it's like, well, use it the right way.
Use it the right way. So the last workflow we're going to go over is campaign planning and support. And, everyone does campaigns these days, right? So what's some of the tasks that our friend does, the Agentic AI?
One of my favorites is Google now. They have it built into their...
Gemini, right? Is it Gemini?
Yeah, well, they have Gemini built into... I don't know if they call it Gemini, but into their ad tool. They actually use AI to figure out... Like, a lot of people aren't even aware of it, but it's like you're using... If you run what they call a Pro Max campaign on Google...
Yep.
You're using Agentic AI. What it's doing is it's going in there and trying to find the best places, the best times to show your ads. They'll show them on apps. It's funny, like they'll show your ad in a game. It'll be like, oh, they're looking for this person. This person's actually playing a game. We're going to display the ad in there. It's unbelievable what it can do.
Yeah, I mean, you're seeing the next level now with Google ads, Facebook ads. It's just all incorporated and. An agentic, a workflow in the kind of in the background to make sure they're the whole key to sales is to be where your buyers are. And it really helps with that.
Google knows when I'm sick before I do. It's kind of funny. My Fitbit will tell me you're having a little bit of an off day, and then I'm like, crap, I am. And then,
all right, here we go. You know why you get sick?
I know.
All right, we'll leave it at that.
We'll leave it at that. But the other uses for it too is that, like, if you're not using Google, if you're using some of the Meta tools or TikTok or LinkedIn, for campaigns. Even on those systems, you can have your Agentic AI system go in and create those campaigns for you based on the trends that you have it analyzed. It's really cool. Like and if you want to take like the baby steps, like, we say you want to just like dip your toes in the water.
And actually,
test it out.
Hold that. I encourage you to dip the toes first. Don't jump into the pool.
Yeah.
Promise that. And that way it'll ensure your success in using Agentic AI.
Yeah.
And then helps you, last but not least, all these workflows keep marketers organized and saves them time and money.
Right.
What they're, because cost of operations, especially if you're an agency out there, time is money, right? You can't be spending too much time on a customer, turnaround and all that. All right. So here's the negative side of our podcast today: mistakes. What's some of the common mistakes people make with Agentic AI?
I think using AI is like a magic bullet.
It's not.
Yeah.
No, it's not a magic bullet, because AI, just like an intern or we'll say an entry-level employee, they need direction, constraints, and context, right? Again, Bertha and Sheila.
They need a little bit of guidance. You can't just say, "Hey, make it happen."
Make it happen, because that's when they're going to spit out the wrong answer for you, right? Or the wrong process is going to happen. You send an email. You see an email campaign to a bunch of skiers, right? A bunch of people in Florida about skiing, and people in Florida don't even know what ski. They think of water skis, but not snow skis, right? So how about letting AI write everything? Oh, that bothers me. If I see any more emojis, I'm going to scream.
The emojis, the M dashes, meaningful, you name it. There's all these different little clues. I mean, I'm seeing a bunch of like LinkedIn posts. We talked about this, I think, last episode too, where Reagan and I were looking through LinkedIn and we were identifying all the generated posts and generated imagery that people are doing on there, and it's so you can build a workflow like to do your research for you, and actually spit out a post for you. That's good,
it drafts it for you, but as a human, you want to
Yeah.
refine that draft and humanize it.
I don't think I've ever had AI draft. I mean, maybe something small like an email or a text that it got right the first time. But like, I'll have it draft something just because I'll use it to organize all the stuff that's in my head. But like, if you're using Agentic to build something bigger, like an ebook or people are using. One of my clients actually reached out and said there's a tool out there that'll actually write a book for you. And I did some research on that. I'm like, that's kind of interesting. But you want to go in and you want to be your own editor. So, you can let AI be an author, but you have to be the editor.
You'll be the final one, right? And then we talked about building repeatable processes, using AI without checking accuracy. So how are you QA in those processes? Remember back in the day when people used to build a Java program?
Oh, yeah.
You had a QA team, make sure everything worked. So how do you build that into, a workflow? Agentic AI built workflow.
It goes back to that example I used about the guy that is having AI build his tool and he has no idea what's in there. I mean, with us, we've implemented some kind of automated testing, which is a good way to do it. But you can't just have AI generate something and you just publish it out to your website or publish it out to the App Store or the Play Store. You have to do some level of testing. And while the tools have gotten a lot better, if there are automated, you can set up automated tests and things like that. Amazon actually has a really cool process that they can release a feature and in an hour it'll know whether or not that feature is making money or losing money. And if
need that.
if it's not making money, it'll back it out. But I mean, that's full blown DevOps, which is, I think that would be a cool topic.
DevOps, like a hotshot.
But if you are using it to do any coding, you want to at least glance over the code, make sure you understand what it's doing before you release it, and then do some testing on either a test server or a test device to make sure it's fine.
Yep, exactly. So at the end of the day, AI doesn't replace your thinking; it replaces tasks. We talked about that already. So that's talking about automating too early. We talked about that already. And then how to avoid AI fails, right? You don't want Did I say it again? Bertha and Sheila to fail, right? So
you got to tell it what it is, right? You got to give it, assign it a role. Say, assume the role of this, assume the role of that.
That might be your first step in building a workflow is identify your role, and then take it to the next step. And then always give it some constraints, right? The tone, length, audience, and format. Yeah, work on that too, because that's important to have it identify. And then always validate and outputs. How many times have you said that already today? Validation.
It's like Tony Robbins says, repetition is the mother of skill. It's the number one problem people have with AI generated content is that they don't validate it.
Don't say if it's real or not.
And
right?
it's not just even the content itself. Like sometimes people will post, they'll literally copy and paste from their program.
Yeah.
And at the end, it'll say, if you want us, it's like, this is an example of a post written for this. If you want me to rewrite it in this tone, let me know. Like I've seen that published in a press release.
Yeah.
The AI, I guess the next step that AI is asking you for at the end of what it produces, that's really bad when that happens.
Exactly.
So,
hey, what's another one?
always start low risk.
Low risk. All the time. Another big tip. Write that one down, Hotshot Nation. You want to start low risk. You want do your research, summarize, and then repurpose. Right? And here's my other favorite one. Keeping humans in the loop. We're not going away, everybody. I hear these things on 2200. The world's going to be just robots. Nope. It's not going to happen.
Skynet from Terminator.
Yeah.
That's what everybody's saying.
We're still, human AI support strategy doesn't set it. The humans set it, right? So that's all. That's some other good stuff to go over there. We went through workflows, some mistakes, and then some avoiding AI fails. So Now we're going to tactics. Hotshot. We need some music in the background.
I know we should have like
Hotshot tactics.
we should have like a splash screen that comes.
Yeah.
Hotshot tactics.
Hotshot tactics.
In future episodes, we'll do that.
We're refining our podcast as we go. Episode 100, right? So, what's some rapid fire takeaways, Mr. Feudo?
Let AI draft it, and you are the one that decides what makes the most sense to go forward with. So.
Yep. And then another big one, this is where the difference between agentic and generative AI. Workflows beat prompts.
I think that's going to be our thumbnail for this one.
What's that?
Workflow beats prompts. I think that's a
Workflow
great
beats
one.
prompts. See, we come up with this. And then, of course, just like your intern.
AI, or agentic AI, any AI, is only as smart as the process that you give it.
Exactly. Remember, that's, you're not going to bring an intern in and just throw them in the pool, right?
Right.
And then, of course, we talked about this a few times, starting small, scale fast. It's like hire slow, fire fast, right? You fire your agentic AI agent. Right, and then I like, this is a car relation, right? You like Lamborghinis.
Yep. So your creativity is the engine. AI is just the fuel.
It's just the fuel. That's all it is. I mean, that's the world we're in today, right? You can have a car in the parking lot, right? And it has no gas in it. What happens?
It's not going to go anywhere. It's
So
not
that's
gonna do
where
anything.
AI, that's where work AI, agentic AI, or even generative AI, to a degree, would help you drive down the street.
Mm.
Right. So wow, rapid fire today, Mr.
Yeah, we cranked
This
through it
was a
all.
good episode because, I think a lot of folks, they get scared of it. They hear the word agentic AI, they're like, "What the heck is that?"
Yeah, it's definitely intimidating.
It can be. So think of it just like your helper. It's gonna it manages your workflows. It kind of takes it to the next level. It's not. Remember, back in the day, Google search. Then you have generative AI. That's prompt engineering. Now you're taking it to the next level where it's actually workflow engineering.
Mm.
That's my new term there. So we're gonna give some homework.
Yeah. What we're going to challenge the hotshots out there in Hotshot Nation is we want you to build one agentic workflow. And it can be maybe researching, repurposing, or email drafting, something simple. And then just use it twice.
See how, and look at what the output is, both, to compare.
And I mean, follow what we said. Make sure.
Make sure you
before
listen.
you let it.
I hope you all listen to the episode to this point, and that without a doubt. So that's a good homework. Throw something in the comments. Send us a message. marketlikeahotshot.com. Contact us. Let us know. Let's see your homework. Can we be teachers today?
Yeah.
Even though it's the middle of summer.
It's always fun to give people homework.
It is. And you also have homework out there, Hotshot Nation. Follow the show. Follow us everywhere. We're on IMDb now.
Yeah.
Wow. We're like celebrities, man.
We're on IMDb, and then also we have music from Market Like a Hotshot is now on Spotify.
Google. Listen to me. I'm talking like a Gen X person now. Go out to Spotify and look for Hotshot Resistance. That is the name of our new band, if you can believe it. We have the Social Connector song, the Attraction.
We got bingo card for our friend Victor Lee.
Who's out in Asia somewhere.
Yeah, he's somewhere.
Somewhere in Asia.
He was in Seoul. I don't know where he is these days.
He was in China. Then he went to Hong Kong.
Yeah.
He's developing the next K-pop extraordinaire out there, right?
And then sometime before the end of the summer, we're going to have the volume 2 of the Market Like the Hotshot music. We just, like we're telling or asking you to do, start out slow, start out, something low risk. We did just 3 songs with this release. We wanted to see how it would work, if it would work, and then now we're excited that we're going to do a second.
And for you Gen X folks out there, it's hard rock, 80s hard rock. So if you like that,
although the other one is a little, it's K-pop.
It's K-pop for
Victor.
K-pop, buddy.
Yeah.
So check those out. You have episode 60 come up. We're going to get a little tech again about websites.
Yeah, we're going to talk about websites.
Websites, like Hotshot next. And, we have some great guests coming up. Should we reveal any of them, or should we keep it a limbo?
I think we keep the guests a little quiet for now.
You'll be seeing that come up. I don't know. Carrie Mays was a hot one there.
Carrie Mays was incredible. I mean, we've been really fortunate with our guests. I mean, starting off with Riyadh Shah. Riyadh gave us a lot of great tips.
Episode 51?
Yeah, 51 was
Riyadh.
Riyadh.
So check out episode 51 about community building.
And then we had 53 with your friend,
my
friend too, the one and only Chuck Goldstone.
Chuck Goldstone.
That episode is incredible.
Storytelling.
And we're going to have him back. And then, while not an official guest show, we had Bill Sell from the Farmers Market, but he also runs so many things. Bill is such a wealth of knowledge that we have to get him in for a more formal guest appearance.
We'll do that this summer, maybe at the Farmers Market. You got to check out the Framingham Farmers Market for you folks out in the Metro West here.
Yeah.
It's great. It's
the largest one in Mass.
It's the largest one. It's on Thursday afternoons.
And speaking of Mass, and you mentioned her, Carrie Mays' incredible episode. What an incredible person she is.
Yeah, she's good. We'll see her in Venture hopefully at some point.
Yeah.
And so we got a lot of good stuff coming up. Check the website. Without a doubt, there's a lot. The merch. I think our room is when we bump.
Yeah, we're gonna start changing that around a little bit. Really excited about that.
Hats, man.
Yeah,
we need some hats. So all right, Hotshot Nation. What we always say: follow us, comment, repurpose, repost. And hire yourself an Agentic AI agent, and you're going to rock like a hot shot. Have a great day, Jeff and James.
See ya.